I think we're recording. Yeah. So like I was sharing with you, the value for me personally for this Sunday's class is two things. One is I feel like today, we're isolating and I feel like out of control. Like I can't change the situation. There's very little I feel like I have control over. There's not a lot I can do except to like focus on my own self-care and make sure I'm as strong as possible to, if I do get the infection, like I'll be able to like deal with it and my immune system will be strong.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like today I oscillated between feeling physically good and feeling like, oh my gosh, am I getting a fever? And my throat's kind of dry and sore and my sinuses, I'm getting a headache. And I got freaked out a little bit. But then, I thought, okay, well, what can I do? And breath work immediately came to mind. And I was watching a new video by Wim Hof. We were just talking how people don't know who he is, but he's a breathwork person who also advocates for kind of making your body cold, like taking cold showers and
Cold therapy. Yeah.
cold therapy, and how that regulates our body. And I'm not going to go into that, but basically he was like, hey, don't forget, you can breathe, you can build up your immune system, you can oxygenate your body, you can work out your lungs. And I'm like, wow, that sounds like perfect for exactly what I can do right now at home. And then I thought, I'm going to do this, but it's hard for me to get myself there, like to actually do it. It's hard to include it and make it part of my routine. So I was just so grateful that we would have class this Sunday. So like it's Thursday now, right? It's Thursday. If I can't get myself to do it today or tomorrow or Saturday, I'm going to do it Sunday. I know I'm going to, because like you're going to coach us through it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that the Sunday is going to, bring is like, I was thinking, okay, why, like, I'm not the type of person that's going to go to an online self-care thing. Like, that's not what I do. Why am I doing it? Oh, because Jeannie, it's Jeannie and it's the tribe. Like, I'm going to be with my tribe. And like, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have done it. Right. So it's so personal. It's so personal because I know you, I know people in the tribe and we're connected. And you were kind of worried that like having an online class wouldn't give as much opportunity or wouldn't be the same value as doing it in person. So I just wanted to debunk that, because it's like, this is what we've got now. We've got this. And if I could be forced to do breath work, which is although once I get started, it's fine. Like, it's really hard to do on my own.
It's the 3-song rule, right? First
Right.
3 songs are the hardest.
So if you can get me to do that and I can stay connected to like our awesome community, there's so much value in that. I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, and I wanted to add to it too. I just think it's so amazing. Breathwork is just the metaphor for like everything, right? So we talk about building community, which is at the forefront of like everything that I talk about, that I stand for, us coming together. So stronger together, right? And there's all these healing properties of community and coming together. And then what you talked about, how you're physically, like the physiology, like you're building your immune system. And then let's talk about all the mental stuff, right? And all the mental clarity. So if someone has all these thoughts, they're in thoughts, they're thinking, they can't get out of these ruminating thoughts.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to have clarity and make the best decisions, because right now we don't feel like we have a lot of choices. We have to pivot. A lot of us, I'm having to pivot. A lot of people are having to pivot in their business. Be creative, do different things. Well, you can't have creativity. We can't make creative decisions if we're not tapped into our intuition, right? If we're just on this over, and it's the thing is that's interesting is that a lot of the scary things are true. So it's not like, okay, Jeannie, you can't, Yulia, you guys can't take this away. This is true, and this is true, and this is true. But what we can do is connect you back to your heart, slow those thoughts. Like we always talk about getting that inner critic to slow down, actually turn off, because you do need to make decisions, or like even little baby decisions. Like we're in decision fatigue sometimes. Like we're like overwhelmed with which grocery store do I go to, right?
Yeah.
And then we're stressed. And so it's kind of threefold, the 2 points that you brought up. So immunity, I mean, how else can you, like literally, it boggles my mind if you think about how simple that you can lie on the floor and give me 45 minutes and I'm going to boost your immunity. And building the community. And then also, like we said, the clarity with yourself and the connection with yourself. small choices that you need to make or decisions that you need to make, or even conversations, right? Oh, I don't want to upset somebody, or, you know, we talk about getting outside of your comfort zone, and this journey, this situation that we're in is all about getting outside of your comfort zone, maybe having conversations, asking for help. Oh my God, can we just talk about asking for help is very vulnerable for some people, and being vulnerable, Yulia, is so challenging for people to show emotions, to show up, and holding space for people is super vulnerable. Like a lot of people have a hard time holding space.
Yeah. And you know what? If this were some random online class with like 50 people and I didn't know the instructor personally, or I didn't know, like, they weren't the tribe, I don't know if I could be vulnerable in asking for help or showing emotion, which those are two things that are already difficult for me personally. And my personal journey is like to work on that. So I think it just reinforces the value of what you're providing, which is like, I can fully, authentically express the full range of my feelings, like you like to say, and be witnessed, not just by you, but by our community. And there's no resistance to that. Or if there is, it's a little bit, but I can get through that and get the healing that I need without feeling like, oh my gosh, what are these people going to think? Or am I weird for crying, or
because
being afraid?
Yes, because I'm your coach, so I'm still going to keep people accountable. You're still going to have your like screen on, right? And the camera's on in the beginning, but just so I can see your, like, just so I can make sure you're breathing correctly, and just, you know, introduce yourself, say your name, but I mean, that's it. But this is not going live on Facebook. This is not for the masses. This is just going to be for the people that choose to be in the group. So,
so should we like quickly outline what we're talking about? Because we didn't do that. We just kind of jumped into talking about it. So like,
we should talk.
Like, so share what you're offering.
We'll send this to people, in our meetup, and they're like, "What tribe?" Oh, it's our meetup tribe. So Breathwork, which is this active meditation, and it's a 3-part breath, or 3-step breath, and it's guided through music. So we're going to have music playing, and we recommend that people use their earphones. So they're going to be, you know, you just lie on the floor in your house, the comfort of your own home. It's about 27 minutes of active breathing. We do some great affirmations at the end. We're going to fill you up with love and gratitude and positivity. We just did a survey I talked about yesterday on the Facebook Live. We have data how Breathwork, we've been collecting information, and the stress has gone down. And when we did the study, it was before the coronavirus really revved up. So we know stress is higher right now, even more so. So this is a good time to work on things that you can do to empower yourself to bring it down. So and it's
so
really
we're doing this Sunday at,
so it's 7 at 11 a.m. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. It's, you know, we've talked a lot about before too, that if it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, that's okay. And that's where the growth is. So try it, see what you can do to empower yourself, because we don't want to, the worst thing that makes me so sad when people feel like victims and this victimhood, and we all go through it. That's completely normal with this whole coronavirus. We all know all these feelings are valid, but hopefully we can move through it, right? And we have, like, they call it expansions and contractions. So sometimes you're going to be in a contraction, and we validate that, and that's okay. But if you can have some expansion where you are feeling empowered and strong, man, that if we can tap into that with a little bit of breathing on the floor, that's so important. Yeah.
I know personally, I'm looking forward to it. My mind is constantly chatting.
Too.
And I realized today how hard it was to turn that off, especially consuming all the news, trying to stay ahead of it, and connecting with so many family members. Like, I have a big family, which I'm so grateful for. I have cousins, and some of them are nurses and doctors, and we're talking about taking care of the older people in the family. And there's lots of, it's hard to escape from talking about it, thinking about it. And it's important to lean into it and be a part of those conversations. But for me personally, I'm either working or I'm connecting with people on the what's going on, and it's hard. And or the third thing is I'm distracting myself by like watching YouTube or listening to music or taking a nap. So like, yes, taking a nap is good, but I need conscious space in my day where I'm not doing any of those things and I'm just present. And it's been hard. And I've got like, my work is to help people practice mindfulness, right? And it's easier for me to hold that space for someone else. And I'm finding that I'm running out of energy to hold it for myself. So I need help. I need a system that I know works and that is so transformative and so fast. Like I need to recharge my battery more.
Yeah.
Now. So I hope we can keep doing this.
Yeah, and I would love to do this as a weekly basis. And imagine we're not moms, so imagine all the moms, all the fathers, caregivers that are, we know we can. It's sometimes frustrating. I'm sure you feel the same way. Like we know we can help, and this is such a good modality. And so we just want to, convince more people and just try it. Like you have nothing to lose. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's like when you have a coach or you've paid for a trainer at the gym. So maybe because you are held accountable or someone is going to meet you for a walk. Well, you can't cancel because someone's going to meet you for a walk. And it's the same thing. And I've been in that situation too. It's really interesting where you're kind of going through some emotional stuff, but with work or kids or whatever it is, you got to kind of push it down. We've talked a lot about pushing down our emotions, but knowing that's like, it's okay. I got Sunday. Like,
right.
We're good. Like I got myself and I've got my self-care.
Yeah.
And we talk also about how all of us who are supporting each other, filling our own cup first, because if you're rattled, if you're stressed, if you're not present, your people will know. Your family, like you're in a house with 4, 5, 6 people, you can't hide that you're stressed, that you're angry, all these emotions that we're pushing down. We could do a whole nother discussion. I think we should about the coping mechanisms. I mean, people are going to be drinking, eating more, doing a lot of numbing, smoking, all these numbing things because they are so disconnected from their feelings.
Yeah.
So not to shame anything, and it's okay, of course, distract. I do the same thing with Netflix sometimes. That's my distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to get on the other side of it, right? Because people are already seeing, I'm hearing moms talking about that they've gained weight already. So kind of getting out ahead of that. And it's sometimes not, I mean, it is maybe because we're more inactive, but I'm guessing most of it is stress eating and pushing down that discomfort. And these are the conversations that I love to have. And I think, I could just talk about this.
Yeah. What I get from what you're saying, and I'm losing light here, so we'll wrap this up. What I get is like, you're not telling me to stop, because I am doing some of those things, right? You're not telling me to stop. You're just saying like, just add this other thing.
Yeah, totally.
And when we do add something that's nourishing, we feel better and we automatically make better choices. Like I had a choice to make today. I can eat frozen pizza that I have in my freezer for emergencies. Like I don't have time to cook or I don't have enough groceries. Or I can eat like this amazing soup, this beautiful homemade from scratch soup that will nourish me and help me warm up and feel good. And I really had to stop and intentionally make that decision. And I was gunning for the pizza, but I thought, let me eat this meal. Let me have this soup and then I was so glad. And I believe fully that I made the better decision because I took time to connect with you earlier today and get some of my frustrations and my feelings out and feel validated. And you held space for me and you let me feel crappy for a little bit. And because I felt better, I went out to take a walk, which was great. I saw people out in my community and I was like, okay, the world isn't over. They were still here. And because I felt better, I made a better choice for myself. And that has, positive outcomes beyond what we think. It's the nourishing meal has, now I feel better because of that. Otherwise, had I made the pizza, maybe I would have felt more sluggish and maybe this wouldn't have happened, right?
This is so organic. I just want to say I love these kind of moments where we're having these great conversations. And I always say to people, wait, why aren't we filming this? So I just love that we just pop this right on. And yeah, you know what it is? It's a lot of, this is what I want to talk about too another time, or I don't know. It's like self-forgiveness and compassion like no other, because that's the thing. We are going to make bad decisions. There's no shame if you had the pizza. There's no shame if I need a glass of wine. It's no shame at all. It's forgiveness and love. And there isn't even like any forgiveness you need with that, but whatever that the choice that maybe isn't as helpful, right? So like what, you know, forgiving your, oh, I had that, whatever it was, no big deal. Getting back on track if that's your thing. And it's compassion when you talk with parents, right? It's compassion if they lose their temper and they if they handle, if there's a behavior that isn't the best behavior. It's how do you it's like getting back into alignment, getting back into the helpful habit that's gonna work for you. And it's a balance. And there's what do they say? Moderation, including moderation or something.
I love that.
So yeah, we're not judging any of those things, but I think what the biggest shift for me is that I'm more conscious about now things. It's like, I'm not just opening the wine and like drinking without even, it's like, you know what? I want to drink this, or this is how I'm feeling, or do I need this? And I really have eaten so much less like junk food, and sugar used to be like, I would eat a lot of sugar too. So I know people are a little bit not as concerned about their health. Well, I don't want to say that, but sometimes it's like, well, I deserve this junk food or this comfort food because I'm going through so much stress. But we just want to tell you that in terms of your immunity and inflammation in the body, it is healthier choices that are going to help you.
Yeah. And I don't know if we make logical decisions. They're mainly emotional, right? And we use logic to back up our emotional decisions. So I think I made the better decision because I was feeling better. And now on top of that, I'm feeling good about the decision. Had I made the choice to eat a little less healthy, because of my understanding of, okay, I felt like this and that was comforting, and now I'm going to go take a nap and be more. It's just about being intentional and having an understanding that brings you compassion, self-compassion. Yeah. And main point is when we feel better, we make better choices.
Yeah, I just think, like, to reiterate, like, so much, this is where a spiritual practice or just a mindfulness practice or just a self-awareness practice, self-regulation practice, whatever you want to call it, with yourself, checking in and seeing how you're feeling, and are you making decisions? And more than ever, we're all going to make tons of mistakes in this whole epic, right, of this whole time period of confinement and stuff. We're making mistakes, I'm sure, all the time. So can we forgive ourselves? And that's what we talk about in breathwork over and over, and compassion, but having intention with it, like trying to do better and not trying to stress out and not trying to, harm other people or, scream or yell or all those kind of things. But yeah, bringing intention in this extra, a lot of us have, I know you're so busy, but a lot of us have extra time. Yeah. I actually have more time. I'm like making a lot more things from scratch now, and I'm going for a walk every day.
Nice.
That's me. Everyone has their like thing, but I think having this time to do some of this inner work is really scary for some people. So we're not saying become a monk, but we're saying, hey, get on the floor and breathe, because it's gonna be so helpful.
Yeah. And I'm so lucky I have a roommate. You're on your own, and I can imagine the value of this community now, especially just for your own healing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Okay, girl, we'll hop off this. We'll make more videos spontaneously as we go.
We're gonna send it out.
Okay, but Sunday I'm really excited. 11 o'clock. I think there's about 5 or 6 people now signed up, and I love that it's an intimate group. And I can't wait. I can't wait to try it. Yay.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the support and the encouragement. And we're trying something new. Yay.
Pivot. All right, that's the magic word for the week, pivot. And I'll stop the recording here.
Okay, bye.
Bye.